So I thought I'd just do a quick let's play for Jigsaw Fallen Into Place by Radiohead. This is my favourite song by my favourite band, and it's taken me a long time to actually figure out how to play it. There are a lot of tabs out there, but there's a lot of inaccurate ones too, so even the ones that are printed are sometimes inaccurate. For example, this book is very good, and I will put a link to it in the description because I would recommend it for so many other tabs. But the tab for Jigsaw says that the fifth string should be a B when it should be an A, because I've watched a lot of videos of Tom playing it and there's no way that his hand position makes sense for it to be a B. So we'll just go through the actual tuning first before I walk you through how to play the song. So the sixth string should be a D. The fifth string should be an A. The fourth string should be a D. The third string should be F sharp, so tune down half a step. The second string should be B. And the first string should be D. So once you've tuned it in, the first thing to try and tackle is the intro. So this has got quite a lot of alternate picking in it, the first part of the intro does. So the trick is to try and play it slowly first, before you try and build the speed up. So I'll just show you the hand position for the first chord first. So you want to make sure that you're on the 9th fret and your middle finger is on the 6th string on the 9th fret. Your ring finger is on the 4th string on the 9th fret. And your first finger is on the 3rd string on the 8th fret. So you're not actually playing the 5th string at all, so you're just playing those 3 notes. So the first time you play it, you're just playing 1, 2, 3. Second time the same. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you go in bass first, bass first. So you've got to make sure that you get that alternate picking right. So downstroke on the 6th string, and then upstroke on the 3rd string. So downstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. And then you're just moving it down 1 fret, so that's the same position, same hand position. So you've got your middle and your ring finger on the 8th fret and your first ring finger on the 7th fret. So those two. And then you change your hand position again. So for you're starting off with your middle finger and your ring finger on the 7th fret, on the 3rd and 4th string. So you're playing an open D and exactly the same picking pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then you change. So you're actually taking your ring finger off the 7th fret and you're putting your first finger onto the 5th fret and doing it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Still the same. So you'll just have to listen to the record to kind of get the feel right. but I suggest just really building up your speed slowly. So start off at this sort of pace. So that's the first part of the intro. So the next part has some slightly weird hand positions for you to run through. So the first one, that's the first thing you're going to play. You're actually putting your middle finger on the 5th fret, 6th string, and you're just letting the 4th and the 3rd strings ring out as 0. But then on the 1-2, you're actually moving your ring finger onto the 3rd string on the 5th fret. So, and then you do two upstrokes. So you're actually moving your little finger onto the 7th fret, then leaving your little finger where it is, and you're taking off both of these fingers and putting your first finger on the 6th string, 4th fret. So I'm going to just show you this next hand position more clearly. So you've got these two fingers off entirely, so same picking pattern, but you're going 1, 2, 3, and you're actually moving your little finger up a single fret. So that's quite a long stretch, really. You've got your little finger on the 3rd string, 8th fret, and your first finger on the 6th string, 4th fret. And then you're just playing an open one at the end. So that riff, that little riff again. So you're just going to really have to play that slowly, like the first one, and get used to how it sounds before you speed it up. So and then Tom just lets that string ring out, goes back to the start of the intro for this next part and strums it, and then it's so if you've ever played an electric guitar and you've done octave power chords where you've had a hand position like this or like that, and you've kind of choked the 5th string so you can't hear it at all, that's what you're doing here. So you're actually only playing the 6th and the 4th string, and you're using your middle finger to choke the 5th string. So it should sound like this. So get used to that hand position, because if you're actually letting the 5th string ring, it doesn't sound right. I have to try hard to actually do that. It's got that like muddiness to it. So the actual strumming pattern that you want to try and do is, so that's down, down, and then you just doing like an open sort of sound, but you're covering the strings with your hand so it doesn't make any ringing sound. So, and then it's down, up, down, up. So down, 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 up, down, up. and then down, up, so you're not doing any choke on the second one. So down, 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 up, down, 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 down. And you're actually moving this finger a little bit at the same time, so you are actually playing an open note in between those strums, so it's... And then the next chord position, just like the intro. So on this one, you are actually sort of doing a syncopated beat on the first two. So that basically means that you're playing on the offbeat and you're using the upstrokes to punctuate it. So it's... But there's none of that here, so you're actually just strumming it entirely. And then this is difficult. So the hand position for this next part is exactly the same as the intro, but it's much harder to actually mute that fifth string when you've actually got no other finger on the fretboard other than your middle finger. So when you're actually changing the positions, the hand positions in that riff, you should be aiming to do upstrokes. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a weird sort of strumming pattern that you do just have to do very slowly to get used to it. So it's... So you just have to practice doing that whole thing slowly. And then it changes, so I'll just play the verse riff myself a couple of times before I explain the different parts of it. So we'll just go through this first part of it first. So immediately after coming out of the intro, you're hitting this, which has a very similar idea to the other chords you've been playing, in that the third string this time is choked. So you shouldn't be playing the fourth string is choked, so you shouldn't be playing that string. You should have your first finger on the second fret, fifth string, second fret, and no other fingers on the board. So this is something that took me a long time to figure out, because a lot of places that I've seen, it's kind of hidden how they're doing this. But basically, you should only be making contact with the fifth string on the second fret. So you're going, I'll just break that down. So you go in, that's the first part of it, that's all you're doing. And then you're going to still strum all of the strings, but you're putting your third, your ring finger on the third string, third fret. So it's a pull off really, but you're playing it on the downstroke and then on the upstroke as well. So you're playing it on the downstroke with your finger in that position that I just showed you, and on the upstroke you're taking your finger off it. So that's all you need to practice doing at first. And then the next part of the riff comes in, which is using your middle finger and your ring finger on the second string, second fret and third fret. So it just goes just like that. Okay, so you just go in. So you just keep on strumming all of the strings at the same time, but you have to get used to muting certain strings. So you're only really trying to pick out and so it repeats itself. So the first time, so you've got the pull off, and then so that's just down up down up. And then you do it again straight away, but a bit faster, so the rhythm's slightly different. So this is the next part of the verse. So this is the part that Tom's singing over, just as you run away from me, that part. So this is kind of very similar to that first, but you're only actually doing the fretting with your middle finger and your third finger on the second fret. So, sorry, on the fifth fret first. So it's fifth fret first. So it goes from fifth, so fifth down to fourth, and then twice on the second fret. And then for this next bit, you're actually going so can you see what my third finger's doing there? So you're actually doing a little pull off here. So this finger is coming off. And you're playing that open note on the upstroke. And one thing you'll notice throughout this whole song is it's got this kind of drone which creates the atmosphere for the song. And it's a really cool sort of sound. But it's basically just your B string all the time. So you want to just make sure that you've only got playing. So you want to make sure that your sixth string, your fourth string and your second string are playing, but none of the other notes are sounding at all. So just practice the strumming patterns for both parts of the verse. So the first part of it is and then the next part, and then the second time round it just goes up to the 7th fret, So that's 7, 5, 4, 5, 2. So I'll just play that last little bit again. So that's the slide, and then 7, 5, 4, 5, 2. So on the first verse, you play that sequence through 3 times. So the first time it's just the sort of choral singing, that singing, and then the lyrics come in, and it goes round twice more, and then there's a bridge part. So I'll just play that bit. So it goes. So I've seen a lot of different ways to play this part. I think a lot of people overcomplicate it really, because it's kind of all about keeping that rhythm going, that alternating strokes. So all I'm doing is playing single notes on the 5th string for the first part and creating a drone with the D. So that's just 2 to 4, and then adding your little finger into the 5, so there's a little pull off there, and then 2, 4 on the 3rd string, on the 4th string, sorry, and you're doing a drone on the A, and then 3 and 5, so 3rd and 5th fret on the 3rd string. So that last one is actually just a little pull off on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So you're just going. And then once you finish that, it goes back into the main riff. Plays that twice, and then it goes into what's effectively the second part of the intro again. So when Tom says the dance, dance, dance part, and it's like at the end of the song, this goes round 3 times. So that's exactly the same as the intro. So that's it. I mean, you know how to play the whole song now. You've got the intro, the alternate picking bit. And then the strummed version of that, which is the same as the outro. And then it goes straight into the verse. And then from that into the bridge. And then from that back into the verse again twice. Outro, and then just twice round with the main riff. And that's it, guys. As I say, I will link in the description to this Radiohead tab book. And if you have any questions about playing this song, please fire them to me. But really, all it is just practicing alternate picking, so just doing arpeggiated chords, and the weird strumming patterns that occur in this song, and just trying to build up your speed and just taking your time with it, really, not trying to do it the same pace as the record straight away, because it is a really difficult song to play, at least an intermediate level song. So cheers, guys, this has been quite a long video, and if you've stuck with me all the way through it, thanks very much, and I hope to do more tutorials like this in future if it's popular. Thanks very much. Cheers, guys. Bye.